By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
Welcome to another episode of Timmy Talks, the channel where we talk old school magic. And today we're going to look at a patron match because I have brand new patron Mark. Mark, welcome to the show. He is bringing a Deadguy Ale on Steroids deck to the table, and he's playing against me because this is our Patreon match, and I am bringing my Timmy's Spellbook deck to the table. So that's mono blue, 4 Tims. I'm looking forward to this match. I think it's going to be a very close one. It's going to be really, really sweet. So thank you, Mark, for bringing such a top deck here to the channel. Before I jump into the deck text, first I would like to tell you something about the Timmy Talks Patreon. Aye, me hearties. If you would like to support the show, you can become a patron at patreon.com/TimmyTalks. We have 3 different patron levels. You can join as an apprentice for just $1 a month. And this will give you access to the Timmy Talks Discord, and you can join in on all the Timmy Talks online tournaments, such as the Color Clash and the Reprint Masters. You can also become a supporter at the Sorcerer level for just $2 a month. When you are a Sorcerer, your name will be mentioned in the end scroll, and if you want, you can play a game against, well, me. But there is more. If you become a supporter at the Pirate level, we can even make an episode together. Aye! Haha! You can also choose to pay annually for a 10% discount. So what are you waiting for, me hearty? Visit patreon.com/TimmyTalks and join the Timmy Talks crew. Arrgh! And we are back and ready to dive into the deck text. I'm going to start with the player on the left, that is, well, me. Let's take a look at Timmy's Spellbook. And here we see my deck, Timmy's Spellbook. So this is really my pet deck, right? This is a labor of love. And if you've been following the channel, you've seen multiple versions of Timmy's Spellbook. It once started as dominantly a reprint deck with lots of Tims. I wanted to clone the Tims, ping my opponent to death. And that kind of slowly changed. There's been a version where I played with 2 City in a Bottles main. That has now changed to a version where I play with 2 Diamond Valleys main. So I've taken the City in a Bottles to the sideboard playing with Diamond Valleys. The reason for that is that I saw that the meta was kind of shifting. More and more people were playing 12 bolt decks. Those are decks with 4 Chain Lightnings, 4 Lightning Bolts, and 4 Psionic Blasts. And those decks are just so aggressive that I needed some life gain. So then I started to add the Diamond Valleys, and I actually really liked them. And because I was playing with Diamond Valleys, I also decided to play an extra Control Magic. Control Magic Diamond Valley, of course, is really nice synergy because when I steal the creature of my opponent, I can then sack it to the valley if he tries to, for example, disenchant my Control Magic. So that way, I always have value out of my Control Magic. So it's really, really sweet. I think in general, Control Magic is a very good card. This deck is slow though. That is always one of the problems with this deck. Now, I'm only playing 1 Mox because I want to play on-colored Mox. I feel that's more the thing, you know, you're playing mono blue. I don't want to have any off-color Moxen, at least not in this build. But it does mean that you're a bit slower, right? So the pace is not that great. So hopefully I'm going to be on the play after our dice roll, because that's what I'm a little afraid of. But if I can get like safely to 2 or 3 mana, and if I can keep a counter spell up, I can like kind of slow bowl the game, hopefully get it into mid-game, late game. And that's kind of where my deck starts to shine. Like, it's not a full control deck, I feel, because I want to win eventually on combat damage, right? I'm playing kind of a lot of creatures in this deck as well. I'm playing 4 Protocol Sorcerers, a Clone, Papa Modi, playing 3 Ghost Ships, a Wall of Air. I think Wall of Air is something that I'm still testing. It's a slot, you know, every deck has maybe a slot open where you think, oh, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. For me, that's the Wall of Air slot. And the reason I've chosen to go for Wall of Air, it's 2 blue, 1/1 for a 1/5 flyer, is, you know, it's got 5 toughness, so it works great with Diamond Valley. The problem with my deck, again, is if my opponent puts early pressure on, like a Savannah Line or a Hypnotic Spectre, that's really a nightmare for me, first turn Hypnotic Spectre, because I'm not playing with Bolt or Swords to Plowshares, and first turn I can't counter. So that's the reason why I thought, okay, I need kind of like a 3-drop spell or creature that can deal with creatures, and preferably actually a cheaper spell, but it wasn't really there. So I thought, okay, if I have Wall of Air can block all the 4/4s. Wall of Air can kill a line when it attacks. Wall of Air can, of course, block the Hypnotic Spectre. Wall of Air works well with the Diamond Valley, so that's why I decided to do it. And also Wall of Air, nobody wants to use removal on a wall, you know? So they're like, okay, I'm not going to Swords a Wall of Air. I'm not going to do it. And that's exactly what I want them to feel like. I want them to have this problem, this conflict in their head, like, oh, I don't want to Swords it, but it's so annoying, I cannot attack. And because they cannot attack, I'm going to buy time. This wall is going to buy me time, and hopefully I can take over, the game. And I'm also playing with, for example, 2 copy artifacts and 2 icy manipulators. I've had games where I kind of start to copy my ICs, start to tap down the City of Brass of my opponent in combination with the ping of the Tim. That's 2 damage a turn. That really, starts to add up. This is really, if you want to pilot this deck, you have to be patient. You have to kind of, there are always different lines, I feel, in this deck. That's why I like to play it so much. Sometimes you can even be an aggressor with this deck. It also depends on if you can, for example, copy the Soul Ring of your opponent early game, then you get a completely different game already. So it's just, for me, it's still a very interesting deck. I think in this matchup, again, what I'm worried about is the pure speed of Mark's deck. Jusem Jin 5/5 for 4. I mean, that is very strong. I'm also a little bit worried about white. I mean, white is just such a good color because you've got disenchant, you've got swords, right? So you basically have an answer for almost everything at instant speed for like 1 or 2 mana. So that's really tough to kind of compete against. But I think if I can kind of get into that control mode, I think I definitely have a chance. Talking about Mark's deck, let's take a look at his list. And here we see the deck of Mark. So Deadguy Ale on steroids. And maybe it's nice to say something about Deadguy Ale and where that name comes from. So it actually comes from a time in Magic after these old school cards. It's more like a pre-modern era where a team made a white and black deck which was super efficient. So it just was full of very efficient spells and creatures, and that got the name Deadguy Ale. And we're seeing that here in old school as well, right? When you're playing a white-black combination and you're playing those super efficient cards like Dark Ritual into Hippie, you're playing Disenchant Swords, Jusem Jins, then people always say, okay, this is so cutthroat, this is so efficient, this is like a Deadguy Ale deck from back in the day. So that's where the name comes from. And then we added on steroids, because if you start adding blue power, those are kind of the steroids. And that's exactly what we're seeing here, right? We're seeing Time Twister, Ancestral Recall, Time Walk, and then we also see 2 restricted cards, a Brain Geyser and a Mana Drain. It's always kind of tough, right, to decide, am I going to add a Brain Geyser and a Mana Drain? Because they do have 2 blue in their casting cost, so that could be tricky. But of course, the cards are so good that I totally understand, Mark, that you added them here to the mix. I think a lot of Deadguy Ale on steroid players actually do that as well. And I mean, this is a really good deck. This is the type of deck that has won big tournaments as well. I mean, it's looking really impressive. And I'm especially afraid of the turn 1 Dark Ritual, because there's so many things you can do. Turn 2 Ritual can also be good, by the way, right? Turn 1, of course, you can go for Ritual into Hypnotic Spectre, the classic. But maybe against my mono blue deck, turn 1 Dark Ritual into Underworld Dreams is even better, because you're going to punish me for drawing cards. What do blue players want to do? Yes, they want to draw cards. I guess in old school is not as bad as it is these days with blue players, but also in old school, blue players still tend to want to draw lots of cards. And then we'll also see sinkholes in this deck. I think the sinkholes are going to work as well, because it's going to slow me down. So I can see this match going as Mark trying to disrupt me early game. If he's successful in that and can combine it with playing out threats like a Jusem, then he can actually have a pretty easy game. If I can slow him down, if he cannot disrupt me enough, then I can take over the game. But then still, of course, Mark will have these very strong answers, because I think white, it's such a good color answer-wise, right? Disenchant, 2 mana instant speed. It's going to deal with my control magics. Then we've got Swords to Plowshares. That's going to deal with my creatures. Also, there are not really any Tim targets in this deck for me. That's a bit of a bummer, There are no Savannah Lines. I guess if I can get 2 Tims on the table, I can shoot down those Hypnotic Specters. But that is a little bit of wishful thinking. I don't really see that happening, but you never know. Anyway, this is the deck of Mark. It looks very strong, Mark. Let me know in the comments below if you've played this at tournaments as well and what your results were. We'd love to hear from you. And we've looked at my deck, of course, Timmy Spellbook. So that means we are ready. Let's go to the match between Timmy Spellbook versus Deadguy Ale on steroids. Here we go. Game number 1, here we go. So I'm sitting on the left playing Mono Blue, Timmy's Spellbook, and my opponent Mark is playing Deadguy Ale on steroids. So really looking forward to this clash. And oh, look at that hand. Looks like Mark is going to take a mulligan. I believe this is his 2nd mulligan, by the way. Wow, so that means he's going to go down to 5 cards. But that hand was unkeepable. I think your only mana source was a Strip Mine. You did have Demonic Tutor Mind Twist, but I mean, that's not going to get you far if you don't have the lands. And it's interesting, right? In old school, like, how aggressive do you take mulligans? I was recently talking to some very good players that have also played formats outside of old school, and they said that you should be pretty aggressive with your mulligans, especially if you play with the powered cards. Because, I mean, if you now draw into like a balance, that can get you back in. If you draw into Time Twister, can get you back in. Ancestral Recall can get you back in. So there are ways to kind of get back. So sometimes you feel, ooh, he's going to go down to 4 or 5 cards. I've practically won this game already. Well, don't be so sure, because there are some of those cards that can turn the game around in no time. So we'll see if that's going to be the case here for Mark as well. Let's first see if he's going to keep this new hand. I do hope so. I mean, you don't want to go down to 4, right? That'd be very steep. I'm also not sure who's on the draw and who's on the play. I know for myself, by the way, with mulligans that I don't mulligan that often, especially with Timmy's Spellbook, because, I mean, I don't play Time Twister in the deck, and also it's a monocolor deck, so usually I've got enough lands and the kind of lands that I need to play out my spells. But, I mean, it does depend, because sometimes if I play against land destruction, I tend to look for, of course, a more land-heavy hand. And also when I know that I'm playing against a Black Vice deck, then I'm really aggressive with my mulligans, because I don't want to have a slow hand, because Vice can really kill me. Anyway, let's see if Mark's going to keep these 7. And actually I'm saying keep these 7. If he chooses to keep the hand, he's got to put 2 cards on the bottom. It looks like he is going to keep, 2 cards there. Go on the bottom of the deck. Wow, so that means 5 cards to start with, Mark. That's kind of a rough start. Unless, of course, you have those cards that I just discussed. Then it could be a glorious start. Can you imagine if he does land Mox Pearl Balance? That would be such a killer opening. But we'll just have to wait and see. So Mark having one last look at his hand. Those are the 5 cards that he has. There's the dice. And let's get this party started. There we go. So I'm on the play, starting with a basic island, passing the turn. Okay, so at least Mark's on the draw, so he can draw back to 6. That's something. And let's hope for me that he doesn't have a turn 1 hippie. There we see a scrub land and a pass. Okay, so this is kind of perfect for me. This is the slow start I was hoping for. Now I've got 2 islands, so at least I have the threat of counter magic. And I think what would be a really good play for Mark here, okay, Black Lotus would also be a good play. I wanted to say Swamp into Sinkhole, but we see a Black Lotus here by Mark. Does he have, for example, a Juzam Jin here? Turn to Juzam. But it's a big gamble, though. If I've got a counter spell, it's, this is rough. I think if you're Mark, this is rough. Putting my hand away here, by the way. And it's understandable that Mark's in the tank here, because if I have a counterspell, he is going to go for it. Sack Lotus. What are we going to see? Demonic Tutor, 1 black floating. No response, no counterspell here on the Demonic Tutor. So he's got 1 black floating still, and the Scrubland. This is interesting. What is he going for? Maybe just a land, right? Maybe he's just missing his land drop. But then again, why would you sack a Lotus? No, that doesn't make any sense. But I'm curious. I was kind of expecting him, if he would go for it, to like play out a Juzam or something. I didn't really see this Demonic Tutor coming, but playing the Tutor. What is he going to do? Yeah, in the tank here as well, but I'm sure he played the Demonic with a plan, right? Looking at his hand, maybe just to be sure what to do here. So has that 1 black mana floating, and of course the Scrubland untapped, and hasn't played out a land for turn as well. So, I mean, maybe he's got a Hypnotic Spectre in hand and wants to go land drop, play hippie. But then again, why would you then just not use the Black Lotus for that? So yeah, really curious to see what he's going to choose to pick out of his deck. And yeah, maybe we'll never find out, you know. Who knows? Maybe we'll just go into his hand. He's not going to play it out. That could be an option as well. So he's made his choice. Shuffling up. Yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think he's looking at? Which is a really stupid question to ask, actually, because if we don't know what's in his hand, we cannot really answer that question, you know? But anyway, he's shuffling up here. And I think Mark so far has done a lot of shuffling, right? Taking 2 mulligans, a lot of shuffling. Now doing the tutor, a lot of shuffling. Getting the hand back up. 1 black mana floating. And like I said, no land drop yet. Okay, he's going to tap the scrub. What are we going to see? Dark Ritual. And, oh. No, that's another card. Okay, he's going to go for Juzam. Okay, so and there's a counterspell. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little puzzled here, to be honest. I think you could have done, right, Black Lotus, tap the scrub to Juzam, or am I missing something? Maybe he wanted to do Demonic too, and he looked up something else. I mean, that could be the case. A balance, for example. Ooh, Library of Alexandria. That is, I mean, I've got 5 cards, so... But this counterspell was really rough, and it's something you have to keep in the back of your mind playing against the blue mage. Losing the Juzam there, but it seemed to me that, I mean, you're now wasting a ritual, a demonic, and a Juzam. But I'm assuming you looked up something else and not the Juzam. So let's see. Are we now going to see a balance, for example? So it's going to tap the 2 scrub lands. What are we going to see? It seems to be in the tank. Yep, there's the balance. So he looked up the balance. So actually, I'm liking the play by Mark. I'm taking everything back. If you have the balance, you want to empty your hand. So it looks like I'm going to now make a decision what 2 cards to keep. I'm probably going to lose my Loa here. So actually, Mark, that was a really good play. I'm taking everything back. You want to dump the cards out of your hand, you know, with the ritual and stuff, so that your balance becomes a better discard spell. And kind of knowing that, you know, if I wouldn't have countered away the Juzam, also fine, then you just kill me with the Juzam. Oh, look at that. Gonna keep the Library of Alexandria. I'm a little bit surprised here. And dumping 2 islands and a Diamond Valley. Gonna play another island. I guess, is my hand full of lands maybe? Passing the turn here back to Mark. I wonder what 2 cards I've kept. And so Mark here having 3 cards in hand. Looks like he's gonna pass. That's good for me. And I'm just gonna draw and pass as well. So both of us now kind of trying to find lands to rebuild. But for me, it's good news because I've got the Loa. So, okay, I am playing out a land though. Oh, there's an Icy Manipulator. Yeah, I can understand this play because with the Icy, I can start tapping down his lands. I mean, if he doesn't have a Disenchant, this can get really annoying for Mark, actually. I mean, another line, of course, would have been keeping everything in hand, trying to go up to 7 as quickly as possible. So 5 cards in hand already for Mark. Wow, that's quite a lot. Gonna draw my 3rd card here. It could animate, of course. And swing in for 2. Another option is, if I do that though, I don't have enough mana to end, keep Counter Magic open, and tap things down. So I'm gonna pass turn, probably gonna tap something down exactly in his upkeep, right? In response, so this is in his upkeep, he's going to probably Disenchant here. Yep, there we see the Disenchant. That was nice while it lasted. At least, I mean, now Mark has a whole turn where he can't really do anything. Yeah, explaining to Mark that, of course, I did that in his upkeep. He is finding a land from the top. That's quite nice. He can also play something out, it seems. Tapping here. Ooh, yeah, of course, we saw the Ancestral Recall earlier. Am I going to counter? That's the question. No, I'm not. Oh, man, that's tough. So Mark actually doing really well. Has managed to resolve a balance. Has managed to resolve an Ancestral Recall. So that is just really good news for him. And I'm getting worried now. Because how many cards does he have? 6 cards in hand. I've got 3 cards in hand. 4 now after the draw. I mean, I guess I can attack with my 2/2. Right, it's kind of a free attack at the moment, or do I have a better option? There's a Soul Ring, gonna tap the Soul Ring. Gonna animate an attack here. So again, I could have chosen to, keep my Soul Ring in hand to kind of try to work my way back up to 7. I'm pretty far away from 7 though. But still, I wonder what my long-term plan is here. 3 cards in hand. Let's first see what Mark can do, of course. He's got 7 in hand now after the draw, I believe. Also playing out a Mishra's Factory here. The Man Land from Antiquities. Gonna tap it here. Gonna tap 3, it seems. Are we gonna see an Hypnotic Spectre? Yep, there's Hypnotic Spectre. Oh, that is tough. Hippie stuff, that can be a big problem. Hopefully I've got or a Control Magic or a Psionic Blast or a Maze. Or maybe just a flyer, 2/4 flyer. I've got a lot of answers actually now that I think about it. Gonna tap 3. Are we gonna see a Psionic Blast here for 3? So waiting here to see if I'm gonna... Changing my mind though, okay. Yeah, I was like, okay, where's that blast? I expected to see a Psionic Blast, but it's not coming. Man, really in the tank here, it seems, trying to find the optimal line of play, choosing to first animate and attack, having, of course, the risk to run into Swords to Plowshares. So there we see the Swords to Plowshares. And now I'm going to play the Psionic Blast. Okay, that's... And I'm going to eat up my own Mishra's Factory so that it doesn't go, that it's not exiled and it goes to the graveyard instead. So I'm going to gain 2 and lose 2. So I'm going to stay on 20 here. Yeah, I'm not sure if I mean, it's good that I have an answer to the hippie. That's the most important thing, I guess. But yeah, besides that, I'm not really that happy with my decision to attack. Although, of course, it did eat up the Swords to Plowshares, I guess. Here we see another factory, by the way, for Mark. So Mark can now swing in for 3 if he wants to. Or does he have a better option, tapping 3? Oh, another hippie. Oh, man. Not attacking, by the way, with his factory. Exactly. I think I would attack. I had 1 island untapped, by the way. It doesn't matter much. I don't believe I play unsummoned. I know, actually, I don't play unsummoned in my main 60, so... After sideboarding, I could play unsummoned. Then that 1 blue open can make a difference, but not now. Anyway, taking 2 damage from the factory, dropping to 18. And, I mean, this second hippie is a problem. Okay, gonna tap 6. What do I have? Are we gonna see Papamoti? Papamoti making an entrance. 5/6. Oh, this is such a cool card. Beta Mahamoti Jin hitting the board. Ready to tear that Hypnotic Spectre apart. I love it. Now let's just hope it can stick to the board. If Mark has a Swords here, I'm in trouble. A Swords is basically a 2-for-1 for Mark in this scenario, because he can kill my Mahamoti and, of course, then attack successfully with his Hypnotic and force me to discard my last card in hand. But if Mark doesn't have a way to deal with the Modi, it's looking good for me. We're both on 18, by the way. Passing the turn. Okay, this is good news for me. Drawing a card for turn. 2 cards in hand. Gonna tap 4. Oh, a clone! Wow! 2 Mahamotis now on the board. This is awesome. Oh, this is what you want to do in life. Attacking here with the 5/6. What a powerhouse. Mark dropping to 13. And I mean, wow, this is bad news for Mark. All of a sudden, I've got 10 power on the board. 10 flying power on the board. And Mark dropped to 13. Next turn, I can attack with 2 Mahamoti Jins. Yeah, and Mark, of course, in the tank right now, trying to find a way out of this, playing a land for turn. I mean, it was actually looking really good for Mark after the balance, and especially after he also resolved an Ancestral Recall. He had more cards in hand than me. I really felt like he was going to win the first game, but these Mahamotis could get me to victory here. 3 cards in hand for Mark. I'm going to take on my turn. Gonna tap 3 again. Okay, there we see a Tim, Prodigal Sorcerer hitting the board. A 1/1 creature. You can tap to deal 1 damage to any target. Attacking here with both Mahamotis. Yeah, and has to, well, he doesn't have to chump, but I think it's wise to chump here. Then you only take 5 and go to 8. So if you then have another flyer next turn, you can at least stay alive one more turn. So I'm going to pass to Mark here, it seems. Exactly. He's going to draw a card for turn. 4 cards in hand, I believe, for him. I mean, 1 Swords would already make quite a big difference. He's going to tap a Scrubland. He's going to tap a Swamp there as well, it seems. Going to tap an Underworld Sea. What will happen here? Taking a moment, and that's understandable because he has to come up with a solution or else the first game here is lost. Oh, I like this Time Twister. Oh, that's cool. I mean, you have to do what you have to do. I think this is Mark's only way out, I guess. If he draws into a balance, that would be great. The problem for Mark is that I also have 2 blue open. So if he can find a counterspell in my 7 cards, I think I kind of have this game, right? But if I don't, and if he finds a balance, he's back. Another thing, of course, that can happen is that he just finds a flyer to kind of chump or a swords. So there are quite a lot of cards here that Mark can find. And also remember now that my Library of Alexandria is active again, right? Because of that Time Twister. So it's looking good for me. But of course, it's an understandable play by Mark because it's simply his only out. It's this or losing game 1. So then, of course, you're going to play out the Time Twister. So I'm going to draw my 7 here. We see Mark shuffling. And I have to say, Mark, and I also remember we played this match, a couple of months ago. And it's starting to come back. This first game was very intense. And now you draw your 7. So Mark on 8, by the way. I'm on 18. Let's see if Mark can do something. Has to come up here with an answer. At least a chump blocker to stop the bleeding a little. There we see a Mox Pearl. I mean, ideally, of course, you want to see that balance here. And then you just have to pray that it's not going to get countered. Going to tap the white. Soul Ring, not a Swords to Plowshare, it's a Soul Ring. I was kind of expecting to see a Swords here. I mean, drawing into double Swords also would solve the problem. And then you've got the new problem, which is the active Loa. But, you know, that's for later concern. You first have to deal with those 5/6 flyers. So Soul Ring on the board. Gonna tap the Scrubland. Tap the Underground Sea. Tap the Soul Ring. Tap the Factory. Are we going to see a 4/4 flyer? Yep. There's the Sengir Vampire. So Sengir hitting the board. I'm going to draw a card for turn here. And it looks like Mark's going to pass. And I was saying draw a card for turn, but of course I was drawing a card off my Library of Alexandria. So now I'm going to draw my card for turn. So 9 cards in hand. I mean, if I just have a Control Magic, I can win it right now. Play another island. Gonna tap 3. Oh, there's a Time Walk. Yeah, then I think I've got it. So playing out a Time Walk here. 1 mana still floating. Attacking with both. He has to chump. Then pinging him. And then taking my extra turn. Yeah. That Time Walk was the nail in the coffin. But even without the Time Walk, I think eventually I would have won here. And this is just the first game though. But it is cool to see here 2 Mahamoti Jins like riding to victory. It's very stylish if I say so myself. But wow, what a first game. What a swingy first game. I really, really loved it. Let's hope that game 2 and hopefully game 3 are going to be as exciting as this first one. Game number 2, here we go. So I've won the first game, meaning Mark's on the plate. It looks like he kept his hand this time, so no double mulligan for him. That's already a lot better of a start for Mark. Starting here with a Mox Jet and a Mistress Factory. So I can start attacking already next turn. I'm going to draw my card for turn. Also kept my hand, it seems. Just playing an island and a pass. 7 cards in hand. And yeah, my deck at the start, it is kind of slow. So if Mark can take advantage of this, for example, here, having a swamp and then a hypnotic, that will be quite good already. There we see an underground sea. It's going to animate, attack for 2. Going to put me on 18. And passes the turn to me. So yeah, I think this factory alone can have a couple of nice shots here at my life total, unless of course I can find a maze. But even if I have a maze, okay, there's a strip. Little concerned that I'm playing a strip mine here. That's concerning because you really want to play your second blue, pass turn, take another hit of 2, which is fine, but you want to have counter magic open. So the fact that I'm playing a strip mine here, I'm wondering, does that mean that I don't have a second blue in hand? That would be kind of problematic. In that case, I wonder why I kept the hand. But okay, maybe I'm making too many assumptions here. There's the swamp, going to tap 3. There's an Underworld Dreams. Yeah, that's a good card against me. I have to say, things are looking up for Mark here in the second game. Passing the turn, I need to take a damage here from the Dreams. Exactly, going to drop to 17. There's the maze. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, that's problematic. So maybe I had a hand with Island Strip Maze, maybe. Okay, and there we see a city in a bottle. Okay. So 6 cards left in hand. So boarded in my city in a bottle. Is of course quite good against the Juice M Jin, but then again, I mean, Control Magic and Diamond Valley is also quite nice against the 5/5. And of course that Maze of If that I just played out, so yeah, going to put a counter on my deck so that I don't forget the trigger from the Underworld Dreams. And Mark here playing a Maze of If, by the way. So, wow, we could be in for a long game here. There we see a Disenchant on the City in a Bottle. And I mean, City in a Bottle is also really, really good because it means that Mark can no longer play a City of Brasses, right? So if you play multiple colors, then City in a Bottle can be a real pain just because of that. And there's the pass, so going to take another damage, going to go to 16. I mean, I have to get rid of the Dreams, but the only way to do that in my deck is with my Chaos Orb. Or maybe if I boarded in one of the 2 Nevinyrral's discs in my side, that could help. But remember, I didn't see an Underworld Dreams at all, of course, in that first game. So I wonder if I was expecting to see the Dreams. Anyway, let's see what Mark can do, tapping 3. Another Dreams. Oh, that's so bad. I need to counter this. I hope that I have a counter spell. Counter magic, please. Counter magic, please. No counter magic. Oh, there's a soul ring. Oh yeah, I think this is already game, to be honest. 2 of these Underworld Dreams, they're gonna wreck me for sure. I mean, I'm on 14. That's 7 more turns to go. I'm gonna tap 4. Okay, there's a ghost ship. So I mean, I think this second Dreams kind of forces my hand as well. I have to play more aggressive. And the fact that I didn't counter the second Underworld Dreams shows to Mark that I don't have any counter magic at the moment. So I might as well just tap out, and play my stuff. Yeah, but this is looking really good for Mark. Also, the combination between Maze of If and Underworld Dreams, it's really good. So Mark here... yeah, thinking, should I do something? I actually think you're fine with just passing the turn. I mean, also because since I boarded in City in a Bottle, then I usually board out my Diamond Valley. So that's my only real life gain in the deck. So yeah, this is going to be tough. He's going to tap the Soul Ring here. Tap the Mox Jet. Tap a Duel there, because it's going to tap 5. Or we're going to see a Sengir Vampire. No, a Mind Twist. Oh, that is nasty. Oh, that is nasty. Going to lose my entire hand. My hand wasn't that bad, actually. I had a Icy Manipulator. That's a great weapon against the Maze of If. But wow, this is painful. Going to go to 12. Yeah. This Mind Twist kind of seals the deal, I feel. Going to tap 4. Another ship. Okay, I mean, going to attack with the ships. Probably going to use the maze. Maybe he forgets. You never know. I'm a very relaxed. If my opponent says I want to take something back, is that okay? I mean, I'm usually saying that's okay. But I'm not going to help my opponent. That's what I always say. So if they miss something, I'm not going to tell them, hey, you missed your Maze of If, for example. Here we see a Swords, by the way. So, I mean, that's going to give me 2 life. At least that's another turn. That's the way I guess I have to look at it here. And I've got the Strip Mine for his Maze. So next turn I could go strip the Maze and attack with the ship. And Mark is also in top decking mode. No more cards in hand. So it's not entirely lost. I can see ways of getting back into this. Chaos Orb would be quite nice to just flip on one of those 2 Underworld Dreams. That would help a bunch. But let's first see what Mark can do. Second game, of course. If Mark wins this, we're going to have a third game. Although with these patron games, we usually just play 3 games because it's fun. So even if you go 2-0, we play a third one. Anyway, 1 card left in hand here for Mark. It looks like he's going to pass the turn. Going to draw for turn, take 2 more damage, drop to 12. Let's see what I can do. Ooh, going to tap out again. So I guess I'm not going to use that Strip Mine, changing my mind. Oh, okay, first going to attack. There's the Maze. They're going to tap 4 in second main. Ooh, Nevinyrral's Disc, so I did board in the discs. Okay, fingers crossed. If this disc can untap next turn, I can get back into this. Oh, please, please, please. Let this untap, let this untap. Mark, just pass the turn, man. Pass the turn, it's fine. Untap, upkeep, pop, and then draw, and I'll stay on 12. That would be ideal. 2 cards. Oh, this is great. It's going to untap. This is awesome. I think I should pop it now, to be honest. I don't think I should wait and take 2. Oh, I am going to draw. I am going to go to 10. Why? I wonder why I made this decision. Why did I want to look further for 2 life? I mean... Anyway, going to use the Strip Mine here. Going to attack for 2. Okay, so I guess I just want to wait, right? Why would he animate? I mean, it flies, so he can't... Maybe he thinks it doesn't fly. But it does. It's a ghost ship. So the ghost ships, they do fly. It's like the Flying Dutchman. Anyway, there's the attack. So Mark dropping to 18. And I mean, it's looking better for me here. This Nevinyrral's Disc really changed the situation, passing the turn. So I guess I want to pop my disc on end step. Or if Mark now animates, his factory, I could also pop the disc. But let's see what he's going to do. I mean, I guess that's worth the 2 life to pay for, right? I'm not sure. Yeah, so now he's going to pass. Yes, I wanted to pop the disc on end step. I am going to lose, of course, my ship. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't have 3 blue too. So I was probably hoping to maybe draw into a 3rd blue so I could regenerate my ship. That's probably why I decided to take those 2 points of damage. That makes more sense. Because Ghost Ship can be regenerated, but you have to pay 3 blue. Which is kind of tough. But I mean, this disc activation is great for me, of course. But now, what do I have? I'm pretty light on lands, I have to say, this game. So, just passing the turn. But I'm back into it for sure. Mark on 18, I'm on 10. 2 cards in hand for me. Both of us are having 4 lands in the game. He's going to tap 4. What are we going to see? Oh, Juice Amgen. I'm actually fine with that, because I've got the Maze. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. So he's got 2 cards in hand. I now have 3 cards in hand after the draw. So it's a very even second game here, playing an island. If I have a control magic, that will be really good. It looks like I want to do something with the factory. Maybe just use it for mana. Going to tap an island. Going to tap 2 more. Okay, I'm going to copy my own factory. Pass the turn. It's a strange way of doing it, to be honest, because I could have tapped my own factory and it could animate itself. Then I would have had one blue open. I think a blue open is better than having a factory open. Then again, you could say you can then still use one of the factories as a blocker if he plays like a sinkhole. Anyway, I guess you can argue that this is fine as well. It's probably not a big deal. There's the attack with the Juzam, so going to send it back, of course, with the maze. And Mark now on 17 because of his own Juzam. 3 cards in hand for him. Passing the turn. 2 cards in hand here. Tapping 3 blue. There's a Tim. So 1-1 Tim, and this is kind of nice, right? Because you get a damage from the Juzam, then you also get a damage from the Tim, and then it's going to start to add up. So he's going to drop to 16. There we see a Mock Sapphire. 3 cards in hand for Mark. Mark really needs a second threat, right? Brain Geyser, that's also good. So this is a Brain Geyser for 3, I believe. So maybe these 3 cards can get him back into the game. I mean, I only have 1 card in hand, right? So Mark does have the card advantage here. He's got 5 cards in hand. Passes the turn back to me. Really curious to see what I'm going to do. It looks like I'm going to tap 4, another Ghost Ship perhaps. Another one hitting the board. I have to say I'm a big fan of Ghost Ships. They're hard to deal with for the opponent because they're N4 toughness. But also you can regenerate them, so later in the game they get even better. Like they can block a Surrender Befried. Normally, if you have enough lands, you can combine them even with Nevinyrral's Disc, right? You can create Disco Boat. You can regenerate your ships. Here we see a City of Brass, by the way, by Mark. I mean, Mark has more cards, so if he has a second, like, good threat, like another Juzam, that would be quite good for Mark here. Okay, there's a Ritual. And, okay, there we see an Hypnotic Spectre, so that's not really a concern because of my Ghost Ship. Looks like he wants to do something else, though. There's the attack with the Juzams. Of course, I can send it back. Does he have a Time Walk now, for example? That would be quite good as well. No, he doesn't. So on the end step, I'm going to deal 1 damage with my Tims. I'm going to put him on 14. And I'm going to take my turn here. I'm going to draw card number 2. There's an island. And there's the attack here. It's going to tap the Scrubland. What are we going to see? Oh, Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, that's quite good. Also because he has the Hippie. And now next turn, he can start to attack. I guess I could double block with my 2 factories on the Juzam next turn. Or, of course, use my mace against the Juzam and take the 2 damage from the Hippie and lose the card in hand. If the card in hand is, like, not valuable, like a land, for example. Interesting. But, I mean, this Swords is really good here by Mark. So, yeah, passing the turn to Mark. Uh-oh. I'm worried now. So, Mark going to drop to 13. Has more cards in hand and now also has, well, I wouldn't say control of the battlefield, but it's looking much better for him. He can at least start to apply some pressure on my life total. Expecting him to attack here with the Juzam and with the Hypnotic Spectre. And for me, this is also risky, right? Because I can then animate my factories, do a double block, 2 factories against the Juzam. But then if he has a disenchant, I think what's important for me here is to wait with that maze activation like the longest possible time, so I have the most information. Anyway, let's first see what else Mark can do. Ooh, more pressure on the board. Sengir Vampire. Oh man, that looks like a Sengir with a story, by the way, Mark. Maybe you can tell us in the comments below. There's the attack here, as expected. So I'm going to animate here both my factories, it seems. So that means I probably want to do a double block here on the Juzam. But this is rough. Also knowing that the Sengir Vampire can start attacking next turn. It's looking bad for me. It was looking good. Now it's looking bad. Okay, tapping 3. Do I have a Psionic Blast maybe? Psionic Blast? What am I going to blast here? I mean, do you want to blast a hippie? You know, I mean, that Sengir looks like such a good target to play your Psionic Blast on, but then the hippie is going to get through. Yeah, really in the tank here. Another line of play could be 4 damage on the Juzam. Yeah, going to play it on the Sengir. Okay. And now my hand's empty, I think, right? So I just do it on the Juzam, take 2, go 8. Yeah. I mean, the Juzam also still deals damage to Mark, right? So that's something. Gonna ping him for 1 on end steps. He's gonna drop to 12. Untap, upkeep, and draw. Let's see what I can find. And this is the tough thing. If I, for example, now find a counterspell, that's always the worst. I mean, I still have to double factory, so I guess if I would find a counterspell here, I could go. Okay, it's a land. Doesn't matter. Maybe I should have kept the land in hand. But then again, if I top deck like a Brain Geyser or something, but then I can still play out the land. Anyway, let me know in the comments, would you have played out this land or not? Because if you keep it into your hand, you don't give that information to Mark. And I don't think it would have mattered much. Anyway, let's see what Mark can do. Gonna drop a swamp. He's on 11. Yeah, I guess he's just gonna attack again with both, right? Why not? I mean, Juzam is made for attacking. Ooh, he's even going to animate the factory here. Is he also going to attack with the factory? That would be interesting. He is. Okay. So full on attack. I'm on 8, of course. Very aggressive move. Going to animate both. So it looks like I'm going to go for the double block here, but there's the response before blockers are declared. Looks like he wants to do something. Are we going to see a swords here already? Yeah, there's the swords. So, I mean... Oh, and he has a disenchant. Swords and a disenchant. Well, in that case, I don't even have to really think about it. I mean, I guess I can pump the swords target, so I gain 4 life. Go back up to 12. Exactly. But this is bad. This is really bad. I was expecting maybe 1 disenchant or 1 swords, but not 2. So it looks like I'm going to block the factory and kill the factory here. Yeah, that's always nice with the Tim. Going to send back the Juzam and take 2 from the Hypnotic. So I would drop here to 10 again. Yeah, but look at that. Lost all my creatures here. This is a good turn for Mark, you know. It looks like we're just discussing how that all went, but I do think it's correct. I mean, one of the things that Mark could have done maybe different is waiting for me to declare blocks before firing off the disenchant and the swords, because then maybe you would have had enough with just 1 disenchant or 1 swords. Then again, now you've end dealt 2 points of damage and you've kind of wiped the board as well, so that's kind of nice. So I've lost 2 factories and a Protocol Sorcerer there, and Mark has lost his factory and a disenchant and a swords. But both of us are now in top decking mode. So yeah, I think this was a good play by Mark. Mark really now the dominant player again. He's on 10. I'm on 10 too, by the way. Both of us on 10. Looks like we're kind of discussing the plays here, but I mean, I want to see how the second game is going to end. Going to untap, upkeep and draw, and I have to say, after that disc activation, I thought, you know, oh, I got this, but now I'm not so sure. I really need a good card from the top of the deck. Okay, an island is not a good card from the top of my deck. At least not now. Passing the turn back to Mark. Mark going to take a damage, drop to 9. Untap, upkeep, draw here for Mark as well. Let's see what he can do. I mean, first point of business, I guess, is just to attack, but it looks like he wants to play something out before. Gonna tap 4. Another Juzam. Oh, man. Oh, that's a problem. What do I need the next turn? I mean, control magic, maybe? First things first, though, attacking here. Of course, gonna send back the Juzam. Gonna take 2, drop to 8. Oh, man. Let's see what I can find. Passing the turn. Oh, that's bad. 2 damage here at least for Mark. That's something. He's on 7, I'm on 8. But he's now going to swing in with both Juzams and the Hypnotic Spectre. I am so toast. Ooh, he's going to play something out that's dangerous. If I have a counterspell. There's a Demonic Tutor. There's a counterspell, exactly right. If he would have first attacked and then play out the Demonic. Right, because I probably would have taken, I had to send back one of the Juzams, I mean. So then I would have lost that counterspell. Anyway, taking the damage, now I'm on a 1. Oh, 1 measly life. Oh, man. That's it. I think Control Magic could have saved me here, right? Because I could have controlled the untapped Juzam. But yeah, Mark winning here, game number 2. And that means we're going to go to an all-decisive game number 3. Game number 3, here we go. So I'm on the play at least. And look at this, Mark taking a mulligan. So going out to 6. There's an island. And I'm tapping it. Ooh, for a Soul Ring. Wow. That is a great opener for me. Passing the turn to Mark. So Mark starting with 6, now drawing into his card number 7. And I have to say, this match, man, Mark, thank you for this match. I'm really enjoying it. And I was enjoying it at the time, but even now looking back at it, I'm enjoying it again. There we see a Mishra's Factory here by Mark and a Mox Pearl. I mean, that game 2 was so swingy. But let's see what game 3 is going to bring us. There we see a Chaos Orb. And a pass. So yeah, the Chaos Orb. I wonder if he's going to flip next turn on that Soul Ring. Or if he's going to wait. There we see an island. So 2 islands and a Soul Ring for me here in game number 2 of... in game number 3. Turn number 2, I mean. The decisive third game. Who's going to win this? Will it be Timmy or Mark? Tapping 4. I'm going to play out a Ghost Ship here for 4. There we see a Nevinyrral's Disc. Interesting. So going to play a disc. Yeah, going to put Mark into an interesting position. Like, does he want to flip here on the disc? Depends, of course, on what he has in hand. But I'm making it difficult for him. I'm saying, here's the disc. Okay, he's going to play the Sapphire. So if he's going to put more permanents on the board, non-land permanents, then I think it's kind of deciding to flip here. Then again, of course, I mean, if I activate my disc, I'm also going to destroy my own Soul Ring. Here we see another Factory by Mark. So really curious to see what he's going to do. I guess first he can just attack, right? And he can pump it with the other one. He can deal 3 if he wants to. Still have a mana open to use the Chaos Orb if he wants to. So dealing 3 points of damage, dropping to 17. And he's going to pass. Okay, he is going to pass. Of course, if I activate my disc in response, Mark can use his Chaos Orb. Yeah, this disc is very, very interesting. Going to go for a Time Walk here. It's kind of cycling away the card. I wonder what my plan is. Going to tap 3. I guess I don't want to detonate the Chaos Orb. I'm going to play a copy artifact. So this is also a moment where Mark can decide, does he want to use the Chaos Orb here in response to me casting the copy artifact? Because then I will have to choose a new target or not. Like if the answer is no, if he doesn't use the Chaos Orb, I can actually copy the Chaos Orb. Oh man, this is this is so interesting. So Mark, understandably so, kind of in the tank here. Yeah, not deciding to do anything. I think my copy is a copy of the Chaos Orb. So we both have a Chaos Orb. Oh man, this is getting out of hand. There we see a City of Brass. I think one of the things I could have done, now looking back at it, I think I could have done in my previous turn, I could have said, okay, I'm going to activate my Chaos Orb. Right? There's the activation. Wow, going to swing in with both factories. So he really wants me to use the Nevinyrral's Disc. And I'm first going to activate my Chaos Orb here. Yeah, of course, because then I can flip, for example, on City of Brass. In response, he's going to activate, I guess. Oh, this is so interesting. He's going to activate, and in response, I can activate my disc. Destroy everything. Oh, I'm not going to, and he's going to flip on my disc, it seems. Going to go all the way up to the webcam, and oh, it's a miss. It's a miss. Oh. It's a miss here. Wow. And now we see a very blurry side. Exactly, Mark has to fix the camera again, but I'm not going to flip. It's my turn to flip. Guess I'm going to flip on one of the lands. It's a hit. Going to flip on the City of Brass, and now I guess I'm going to use the Chaos Orb while Mark is still trying to get his camera back to focus. But now Mark's going to lose everything, right? Because the factories were animated. Oh, he's going to lose everything. What a hit. Crazy stuff. And I think the webcam of Mark is now like lost it completely after this detonation. Everything is blurry. Mark has lost everything. Like this could be the decisive moment in the third game and in the match. Yeah, and I think kind of Mark animating the factories was an interesting decision to make because it kind of forced my hand as well. And I'm playing a book here, which is great for me. So I had to make a little cut in the recording, as maybe you can see, because Mark's camera was just completely freaking out. But now it's back, zoomed in. It's Mark's turn. And this is going to be tough, Mark. I mean, I think that this disc pretty much sealed the deal. But hey, I mean, I still have to take 19 life points from you, so might as well just continue playing. There's a scrubland. And who knows? I mean, weirder things have happened in Magic. And do remember, Mark, of course, is playing with balance. That's, of course, that key card. Whenever you're behind, and if you still have balance in your deck, you're like, I can do this. I can continue playing. So here I'm drawing another card, finding an island. I'm going to play out the land for turn, passing to Mark. Mark going to draw his card for turn. Finding a maze, okay. Probably wanted here to have a land and a disenchant. That would be ideal. He needs to get rid of that book as fast as he can. Because with that active book, things are going to get out of hand. Passing the turn here to Mark. Okay, Mark's finding another land. Does he have a disenchant? That's the question. And then, of course, he has to hope that I don't have a counterspell. But disenchant is the first step. I guess he doesn't. Passes the turn. I'm going to draw a card on end step. Going to go up to 4 cards in hand. 5 cards after the draw. So yeah, obviously things are looking really good for me, but I now still have to put something on the table that can start hurting Mark's life total. Going to tap 3. Are we going to see a Tim? Untap again. There we see a Tim. Prodigal Sorcerer hitting the board. Passing the turn does mean, of course, that I don't have enough mana to also draw a card. But I can at least start pinging Mark next turn. Let's see if Mark can find anything. Ooh, his connection is a little laggy at the moment. He's going to play a Dark Ritual. I mean, Dark Ritual into Hippie would actually be pretty good if I can't answer it. Oh, this is quite nice. Wow, Underworld Dreams. Ooh, got a mana drain. Yeah, that is very important. I think this mana drain is very important. Guys, I mean, in a way, I mean, Underworld Dreams doesn't shut off my tome, right? It's still good to draw cards, but that would mean I take 2 damage a turn instead of 1. So now I've got 3 mana in the pool, by the way, because of that mana drain. Going to use one of those mana and tap 2, or 2 of those, I guess. There's a ghost ship. Exactly 1 mana left, right? Not 2. Going to tap 3 more and use the mana to draw a card. Okay. And passing the turn here to Mark. So now I can start pinging Mark. But of course, Mark's still on 19, really high up. Playing out a Soul Ring. And 2 cards in his hand here before he passes the turn. So I'm going to ping him for 1 on end steps. He's going to drop here to 18. Going to go back up to 5 cards in hand, attacking with the Ghost Ship. Probably going to see the Maze activation. Exactly. Going to send the Ghost Ship back. Going to tap 4, perhaps another ship. More threats on the board. A clone here on the Ghost Ship. Could have also chosen to clone the Tim, by the way. But the ship is probably the better option. So 2 Ghost Ships here. 2/2/4 flyers from Ghost Ship, originally from the dark. You can tap 3 to regenerate this flying creature. There we see a City of Brass by Mark. Uses the city here, takes the damage. Taps the sea. Ooh, taps everything. Are we going to see a Sengir Vampire? No, we're going to see a Brain Geyser. Brain Geyser for 3. That's quite nice. I mean, he's still on 17. He's quite high, right? Like next turn, I could probably swing in for 2, put him on 15. Of course, I'm going to ping him as well, so he'll end up on 14, but that's not too bad. He's got time. He can definitely get back into this match. So I'm going to put him on 16 here. Untap, upkeep, and draw. Attacking here with both the ships. Going to send back one of the ships. Going to take a hit of 2, it seems. Going to drop here to 14. And second main. Ooh, it looked like I wanted to tap 6. Changed my mind, though. What's that for a Mahamoti, maybe? Going to tap 2 instead. Copy Artifact. Copying the book. So I kind of want to make sure that I can continue drawing cards, realizing that is what probably is going to give me the victory here. Card advantage. But yeah, let's see what Mark can do. Gonna tap the sea. 1 blue, no, 1 black. Gonna go for Dark Ritual, so 3 black in the pool. What is he gonna do with the 3 black mana? Seems to be in the tank here. Gonna tap the Scrubland as well. Okay, there's a Suchi. So Suchi hitting the board, 4/4 creature. I mean, Suchi's good, but it's not a huge problem. Does mean that I'll probably have to keep one of the ships on blocking duty. Then again, if I attack with both, he'll send 1 back, so I'll have that on blocking duty. Yeah, and I guess this is the thing with Dark Ritual, right? Ritual can be really good early in the game. A Ritual can be good if you have a Drain Life, for example. But I believe Mark isn't playing with Drain Life, so his Rituals are really good at the start of the game, but later in the game, it's just kind of like a feel bad if you draw into a Ritual. Now gonna tap 4. Oh, yeah, this is tough here for Mark. Gonna steal the Suchi. Yeah, that is really tough for Mark. Stealing that Suchi, oh, that's going to make it hard for him, because that means that starting next turn, I can also attack with the Suchi, applying even more pressure on the life total. Let's first see what I do in my combat here. Attacking with both ships. So 1 ship being sent back. 2 more damage for Mark. Going to drop to 11. Yeah, it's looking bad for Mark. And passing the turn here to him. Untap, upkeep, and draw. Really needs the good stuff now. Again, a balance. I keep saying balance because I think that's the only card that can get him out of this. And then he has to hope that I don't have a counterspell. Because, I mean, look at this board. If he plays balance, he destroys all my creatures. He destroys a bunch of lands in my on my side as well, right? He's got, what, 5 lands? I've got 7, I believe. Yeah, gonna tap a Mind Twist. Okay, attack my hand. That's something. What am I gonna lose here? Or do I have a counterspell? I mean, if I have a counterspell, you play it out, right? Ooh, I don't. I do have an unsummon, but not really useful. An island there, another control magic. And it's funny to see for me, right? When I play against Hypnotic, I know I always board in those unsummons. Because they can be so good at a turn 1, like Ritual into Hippie, and then you play unsummon. It's like, it's the best feeling, I think. Anyway, gonna ping Mark here. Mark's on 10. And of course, I can start drawing cards again because I have the 2 books. So I'm going to draw the extra card. Now I'm going to attack with everything that I have. A Suchi and 2/2/4 flyers. Going to tap the City of Brass. Are we going to see a Swords to Plowshares here? Yep, there's the swords. I think I would go for one of the ships. Send the Suchi back, take 2. He's going to go for the Suchi. I think I would have gone for one of the ships, because if you then later draw into a disenchant, you can get your Suchi back. And you have the mace anyway. But yeah, Mark here dropping to 7. I've got 1 card in hand, passing turn. Mark's got 2 cards in hand, it seems. Or maybe 1 after playing that sword. So now it's going to go up to 2 after the draw. There's a Strip Mine. Yeah, not going to do much on this board. 1 card left in hand for Mark. Yeah, this is tough for him. 3rd game. But what a match. So many crazy moments here in this match. I'm really enjoying it. 7 life left for Mark. And I'm on 21. And I've got 2 books. I mean, this is rough. Going to take another damage here from the Tim on end step. Going to drop to 6. I'm going to draw an extra card. Untap, upkeep, and draw. Another card for me. 3 cards in hand. Probably going to attack again with my fleet. First going to draw another card. Yeah, so much card advantage here with those books. Looking at my graveyard. Attacking here with both. No changing my mind. Okay, playing a mace first before I attack. Okay. Oh, also going to attack with the Timmy. Yeah, I've seen this trick before. So he's going to send back one of the ships, right? And what I can do with my mace is after damage is dealt, I can take a creature out of combat. So I can take the Tim out of combat, and then I can also ping him next turn. So that's exactly what I do. So I'm going to take the Tim out of combat. So it deals damage, but after that I can untap it with my mace. So I can ping Mark again on his end step. Yeah, it's a little trick, you know. It's just, when it works, it's fun. You're basically dealing 2 damage with your Tim instead of just a 1. Of course, Mark could consider stripping the mace on my side of the board. Oh, there's a balance! Oh, there's a balance! This balance can change everything. Oh, I'm loving this match. I'm loving this match. Thinking about drawing a card, but then, do I want to draw a card? Maybe first I want to have the balance resolved, right? I can pump all the mana in my mana pool. Oh, wow, this balance. This is insane. So I'm going to put him on 2, of course, pinging with the Tim. Oh, this is crazy stuff. So I'm going to put all the mana in my mana pool, right? Exactly. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm on 5. 5 mana in the pool. I'm going to lose a bunch of lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 lands on the side of Mark. So I get to keep a bunch of lands as well. So, but look at that, losing 3 lands, 4 lands even. This balance is so good, and I'm going to lose a card. So 3 creatures, 4 lands, and a card. Well, that's what, 8 cards lost because of 1 balance. That is amazing. Oh my god, like this balance came at the right moment here for Mark. I'm going to tap here the tome, of course, for that extra card after the balance has resolved. So 2 cards now in hand at least. Oh man. When you think this game is over, is he going to use the strip now as well? He's going to use the strip on the maze. Okay, fair enough. Oh, and it also had the Library of Alexandria in hand, right? So with the books, I could have gone back up to 7, played a Loa, draw even more cards. That's pretty disgusting. But that's never going to happen here. That balance really wrecked that dream for me. 1 card left in hand for Mark. If it's a Juzam, I guess it's not a Juzam passing the turn. That would have been brutal. So drawing a card for turn, 3 cards in hand, playing out a factory, tapping 4. Okay, there's a ghost ship. 2/4 flyer is back. Of course, the thing is that Mark still has his maze, though. He's on 2. Oh, he's on 2. So next turn I can animate factory attack with both, win the game. Mark needs an answer. Come on, Mark. I actually want this game to take longer. I'm just really, really enjoying this match. So much fun. He's going to tap 2. Okay, there's a sinkhole. Yeah, that gets him there. At least saves him for another turn, destroying the Mishra's factory with the sinkhole. Passing the turn back to me. 1 card left in hand. And I'm drawing my second card here. Of course, have the books as well. Oh, strip mine. Yeah, strip mine from the top. Gonna destroy it. And I think that's it. There's the attack. That's it. Winning here. The match. Game number 3. Wow, man. I have to say, Mark, again, this was such a cool match. I think every single game was worthwhile. Let me know in the comments below if you feel the same way, or am I over-exaggerating? I'm just really enjoying this matchup, and thank you, Mark, for bringing your deck to the table. And I like your play style, man. I think it's super cool. I like your deck. It's a well-known, well, it's well-known, but it's a known, like, tier 1 deck. Deadguy Ale and Steroids. It's a good deck, and it looks like it's a lot of fun to play with as well. Thank you for this match, and also thank you for watching. And like I said, please leave your comments in the comment section down below. If you agree with me that this match was just completely bonkers, let me know in the comments below. And of course, before you go, please also take a moment to like and share this on your socials. All these things are free and really help the channel move forward. Talking about moving forward, maybe you also want to become a patron of the show. Check out patreon.com/TimmyTalks to find out how you can become a patron and how you can also play against me. And maybe we'll make an episode together in the future. Wouldn't that be awesome? Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises. Early in the morning, put him in the longboat until he's sober. Put him in the longboat until he's sober. Put him in the longboat until he's sober. Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises. Rises early in the morning. Pull out the plug and wet him all over. Pull out the plug and wet him all over. Pull out the plug and wet him all over. Early in the morning. Way hey up she rises. Way hey up she rises. Way hey up she rises early in the morning. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Put him in the scoundrel. 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 Early in the morning. Way hey up she rises. Way hey up she rises. Way hey up she rises early in the morning.
Igitus figitus somba kazee.